Are you ready for a shopping adventure? Because we're going on one. We are going to go to Fallbrook and we're going to go to a place I found, never been there before, but it's called Pickers. It had great reviews. It's supposed to be like a real cool vintage store. So I'm super excited to see what we're gonna find. But I have to energize. I need energy to do these adventures. So I stopped at Starbucks and I got these little egg, kale, and mushroom bites. They're like 230 calories, super yummy. So I'm energizing myself there. I have my honey citrus mint tea, which is like happiness in a cup, because I want to be in just like this mood when I go like at this vintage store. And I have water and I have you. So I think we have everything we need to make this a super cool thrifting adventure. So I'm going to finish my egg bites and then we're going to go thrifting. Well, do-gooders was different than what I thought it was going to be. Absolutely. For one thing, again, I thought it was Pickers, but it's do-gooders. But the whole vibe kind of reminded me of a kind of like a flea market kind of thing. Kind of like, you know, on the weekends, everybody goes to a field and they put all their stuff out and you can pick from it. Well, it kind of had that vibe a little bit. I have to turn on my car, otherwise my GoPro's going to overheat. So hold on, because I got lots to tell you. It was not like a really cool kind of like resale shop where I was gonna go in and find like all these amazing styles and fashions. It wasn't that. There was a lot of clothes, but they were, I wouldn't say in the best condition, but they were $1. So I guess for $1, they don't have to be in perfect condition. reminded me of what my grandma used to wear, which was kind of cool because I really liked my grandma. And then I saw some things from like Charlotte Russe that reminded me of when I was in high school. And so that was kind of cool. Reminded me of Ruth Eden's house. Now, who's Ruth Eden? You want to know. You're like, who's Ruth? Well, Ruth Eden was a friend of my mom's who was quite a bit older than my mom. So for some reason, my mom always felt compelled to go and visit Ruth, which was very cool. You know what, Mom? Go hang out with Ruth. You know, live your life. Live your best life, Mom. But she always insisted to take me and my sister. Now, my sister was 6.5 years older than I was, and she was a little bit more well-behaved than I was. So every time we would go, we would all have to all sit in like this little formal, like old-fashioned living room, and I would pick the rocking chair, and I would incessantly just be like, and it drove Ruth Eden crazy. She didn't have any kids, so she didn't really understand like the whole philosophy of kids, and then she totally didn't understand this. So then she would be like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give her candy. So it was like, oh my gosh, looking back at it, I'm like, you can't give me sugar and then expect me to behave better. It was just the opposite. So I had all of these Ruth Eden like flashbacks, and I instantly felt like I was in trouble. So I don't know, it was kind of like fun, and it just, all their furniture, I tell you right now, could be in somebody's house in the 60s or the 70s. I think their furniture was the coolest part. Their book selection, they had a lot of really cool books, and they had like this really just kind of like comfy looking chair that you could sit down in, and of course I did. And the first book I found was called Wisdom, Don't Live Life Without It. It was on sale for $1, no, actually it would have been $2. And did I leave there with a book of wisdom and how I can just learn to live with that? Absolutely not. I have made it almost 59 years without that wisdom. I'm just going to roll the dice and see where it takes me for the rest of my life. Their movie selection, oh my goodness, it was like flashback to the 80s and going to Blockbusters. And I was like, yeah, I remember renting this, I remember renting that. I used to stop at Blockbusters on a Friday night, and I would pick up movies that I would rent for the weekends, and then my parents and I would watch it. And there was just so many memories of like, yeah, I remember this. I remember watching this. I remember this one. And that was a lot of fun, but I don't have any way to watch a DVD, so those, or a VHS, I mean, let alone a VHS, so those got all left behind. Oh my goodness, the housewares, like all the glasses, like the glassware stuff, that reminded me so much of going to the Del Mar Fair every year with my parents. And they had the games. What we used to do then is we used to take dimes, and you would throw the dimes, and whatever dish it ended up with, that's what you won. And there were some really cool little dishes that I won, and believe it or not, I still have them today. My final thought for do-gooders in Fallbrook, California is this. I had a lot of fun going down memory lane. It was absolutely reminded me so much of my childhood. Everything from the fair to my grandma to grumpy old Ruth Eden. It was definitely like going down memory lane. As far as the clothes go, I didn't really particularly, it didn't resonate with me. Let's just put it that way. So I won't be going back anytime soon to add anything to my closet there. But all in all, it was a fun adventure. I mean, I got to go back in time and I got to do some reminiscing. And as always, I hope that you enjoyed our shopping adventure. And until next time, remember, be bright, be bold, be brave, and I will see you, my shopping buddy, on the next shopping adventure.